Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we're breaking down movies of the Marine Corps 1 minute at a time. I'm Jack.
I'm Brian.
And today we are in the middle of minute 101. 101 begins with Chuzu, and it ends with Gunny Highway getting tired of getting shot at.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
So this is minute 101, but all I could think of was one on one, and it was like,
Yeah.
one on one, I want to play that game. I'm just going to sing on every episode this week.
Oh, great. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, I want to apologize in advance. I've heard this before.
Oh, my kid's always like, oh, my God, you're the worst singer. Will you just stop singing all the time?
Well, this is the first time that Recon actually gets in a gunfight.
Unless you count the 2 times that Gunny's already shot at him.
Well, no, well, they actually get to return fire.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Well, as we know, it's an AK-47. It's a distinctive sound. Oh no, geez, I'm starting to read more.
Preferred enemy of our preferred weapon of our enemy.
Yeah, although they didn't quote the whole line this time. It's just an AK-47. And of course, that was for Getty. You got to tell his voice. Yeah, you know, nobody in this crew should be asking what was that, because they should all know it's an AK-47.
Yep.
But before that, we get the follow up to our phone call from last minute, and it's just Chuzu saying, "See you when it's over."
Yep.
Which is reminds me a little bit of "See you on the other side, Doctor." Didn't Venkman say that? "See you on the other side, Dr. Venkman," or Venkman said it. See you on the other side, Doctor. What was Ray's last? Spangler? No, Spangler was Egon.
Yeah, one of the two of them. Yeah, we are fucking horrible fans of that.
Dude, when I was a kid, I could literally sit there and watch the movie and quote every line right before it happened, and now I can't even think of the names of the characters.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dr. Chuzu. Yeah, anyways, that's all I can think of. See you on the other side. But see you when it's over. I think I'll mention this in the future, but I feel like I always miss the fact that Profile's the radio guy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until very recently that he was.
I mean, I knew it, but it's like it never registers. You know what I mean? Because I'm not like this scene here. I'm not focusing on a lot of the little details of like in minute 100. I didn't bring it up, but you see. Well, actually, I did bring it up. Gunny kind of takes the radio receiver from Profile.
Yep.
Very quick. It's not really. It's in shadow. It's not really.
Yeah, they don't call a lot of attention to it.
Yeah, it's just there. And this, after they hang up the phone, or like Chuzu says, "See on the other side," he hands the radio back to Profile. It's a little bit more in the foreground, a little bit more visible. But again, it's just something I just never really bothered to pay attention to. It just kind of gloss it over in my brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the radio guy. Now, knowing that the way we know Profile, and he's kind of a goof, is he the guy you would want being the radio guy, being responsible for that?
You know what? He might actually be. He might be the best suited for that, even though he's a goof.
Maybe he's one of those like tech guys that's kind of awkward in his real life, but
he's good. Yeah, he's good at. He's just a weird guy. I mean, how many? But you know that guy that works those tech jobs. It's just a little bit outside the norm, but is really good at what he does. That might be Profile. He's just a weird guy. It's into cats and kid cereals, but he's really good with radios.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it in those terms. I was more thinking about how he's kind of first off, he is kind of a goof and a mess up. Like we could dropping his weapon, hold his weapon upside down.
Yeah.
But maybe he's good with the tech and not the fighting, even though he said, he is getting pretty good at this shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking kind of in terms of the way he talks. Gunny, I don't know. Recon is reconning that hill. Like, would you want that over the radio? Chuzu's like, come again? Huh? Yeah. Say again, Recon.
Yeah, say again.
So there's that. But you can't have Stitch Jones do it because he'd be like a DJ.
Yeah, he would be showboating.
This is Stitch Jones, or Ayatollah Rock and Roller, come for you from Recon Records. Patrolling the university. Just something like that. I don't know. Oh, yeah, live from whatever the name of the college is. Live from St. George, Yeah, he's like the college DJ.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a shot of them stashing their gear, like their flippers, basically.
The swim feet.
Basically all the amphibious gear. They just kind of cover and conceal it. I think as a kid that used to drive me nuts. I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, are they going to come back for it? Like,
Yeah.
who are they? Are they even going to? They didn't mark it in any way. Are they just going to know somebody going to come back after the fact and get it? Like, it drove me nuts. I think very concerned about their gear.
Yeah, I was kind of curious too for the first time, but I don't know why they didn't just throw them in their packs, but I guess they just wouldn't need them. I mean,
Yeah,
what, plan on swimming across the island?
there's something that happened with, I think it was the Rangers. Was it Rangers or Seals? I can't remember now. Future me knows, and we'll bring it up. The Marine helicopter crash, and then they took the life raft from the helicopter and then swam back out to not the amphibious assault, but one of the LPHs or one of the Navy craft out in the water.
Uh-huh.
They had to make their way there because the helicopter crashed. So yeah, maybe they would have to swim back.
Yeah.
In real life, that happens. So
Yeah.
and that's also maybe why they station there, because if they have to make their way, they can grab their gear real quick and get the hell out of there. But in all honesty, they probably don't need it, and it probably is. They just won't ever come back for it. It's probably meant to be disposable at this point. Is my guess. I don't know.
I don't know about disposable, but
Well, you know what
yeah,
I mean.
the one Marine that fucks up during the battle has to go hump all the way back out there with a bag.
Yeah.
They're all that floating devices, and there's all kinds of stuff in that little pile.
Right. Well, I was just wondering if it's just like, the cost of doing war. They're gonna write it off on their taxes, like, oh, this was lost during combat.
Yeah.
And then we get a quick shot of the recon patrolling a little bit into the jungle, but you can still see the coast, and that's where we hear the AK-47 fire, which that's where Collins is the one that says, "Jesus, what was that?"
Well, what gets me is that you hear the zip of the rounds flying by, and nobody's immediately running for cover. You hear the gunfire, which is one thing, but you actually in the scene you actually hear the zip of the rounds flying by, and nobody's like, "Fuck this!" Nobody gets low. Nobody goes and hides behind. Nobody even stands behind one of their buddies. They just keep walking until Gunny starts to kind of issue orders, and then that's when everybody starts to try to get tactical.
Yeah, he tells them to spread out, and then
Yeah,
what they
spread
do,
out.
well, they spread out, and then they spread out by running to the same rock, and they all basically cover
Yeah.
and conceal together. They
Yeah.
all take the same cover. Like my dad used to joke in Vietnam. Anytime a group of my dad he was in the army in Vietnam. Anytime that a bunch of soldiers were grouped together, somebody would say, "Hey, spread out. One grenade will take you all out."
Mhm.
And my dad still uses that. Hey, he'll go to church and tell people, "Hey, spread out. One grenade will take you all out."
Yeah.
Just something, just kind of a joke, but it's in combat, it's real. Well,
Yeah.
they all gather up together. So there's that. Gunny does send. He goes, "Get that 60 around the corner." Swede says, "All right." So Sweden, but it's really hard to tell because of I feel like it's a little dark. Somebody who goes over with him. Let's see. It's not Colin. It's probably
I think it's no Stitch, because Stitch comes over on the other side with Gunny.
yeah. So it's not
I
Stitch.
saw him just a second ago. It's probably Ponte. Oh, let's look. Hold on a second.
I'm trying to see who's not with Gunny in order to.
Yeah. The method of just start to
I actually think it's a Ponte and
Ring.
Key.
I see
No,
glasses. Yep, Lieutenant Ring's wearing his. I think. Well, it looks like he's got his glasses on, but somebody's wearing glasses, and they're the one that's shooting over Swede's shoulder behind the barricade, whatever
yeah,
that is. That concrete. I was gonna say the old Spanish fort, but that ain't right because they didn't press concrete like that. I don't know what that is that they're hiding behind.
yeah. I'm not really sure what it.
Yeah. Apparently the enemy's got a beat on them. They saw him come up or heard him.
Yeah, they sure did, and they're you can see them, but they're concealed. They start returning fire, basically. After they take cover, but before Gunny tells him to get the 60 around the corner, Stitch Jones does say, "Proceed swiftly and with caution, brother." So, like right away, I've always said that he's kind of the leader of this of the recon Marines proper, not
Yeah.
the NCOs and all that. And he is the corporal, and that kind of shows a little bit of his leadership skills as far as, hey, just be safe, be easy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like that little bit, and it's very easy to miss.
Yeah, well, we get to hear it because we watch it so much with the headset on. We kind of isolate ourselves with the track, the audio track. So we've heard all kinds of stuff that you normally wouldn't hear in like a normal setting, like in your living room on Veterans Day. Well, this is on AMC or something. You may miss that line of dialogue, but when we kind of wrapped up in our little world listening and picking it apart, we hear
Yeah.
all kinds of cool stuff that you kind of wish was brought a little bit more to the fore.
Yeah, for sure. I do like that, and I like the little subtleties, and that's why I do like this format in this
Mhm.
way. It's not the end of the world if you miss it. It just adds a little something.
Yeah, that's a lot. I really do, man. Because I got a much bigger appreciation for this movie now doing it this way. I almost want to kind of go back and rewatch a bunch of movies that I used to watch all the time with a headset on and in a room by myself anyhow.
Yeah, I know, right? This is better. Yeah,
Yeah, instead of miss anything, I know I've missed something. I know I've missed some nuance that's there that you just don't want to miss anymore.
right, right. As far as this minute, they have a brief little firefight, but they exchange fire back and forth
Hmm.
between the what we'll learn are Cubans and Recon. Gunny gets a little close call though, so somebody around kind of bounces off that little barricade that they're whatever that fort or whatever that cement barricade that he's behind, and
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is.
yeah, and he says cover my ass.
Yeah, he keeps trying to poke his head out there, and all of a sudden blink, blink. You see the shot, so they got him drawn in, man. They know where they're at.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah, but I mean that's really it for this minute. It's the beginning of a firefight,
Yep,
and just everybody's behind cover, and they're taking their pot shots at each other,
there you go.
covering fire, if you will, covering my ass, if you will. Before we go though, I want I just throwing it here because now is as good as any. I was actually looking up some information about I don't know how this. Oh, when I was looking up for about the AAVs, I actually found that I was looking for filming locations and trying to get some information. And
Mhm,
one of the things that was mentioned that one of the filming locations, according to IMDb, was the LPH-2 Iwo Jima class naval ship, which was what we identified as the Bella Wood, which
mhm.
I didn't. There's no, I didn't. Apparently, that's LPH-2. I found something that calls them the Iwo Jima class amphibious assault ships,
Uh,
and there's apparently, well, they said there was like 7 of them or something like that. They say that this was filmed on the Iwo Jima, which was the USS Iwo Jima, the LPH-2. And there's like
really?
there's an LPH-6, LPH-7. There's different ones, but they're all different variations of basically the same kind of landing craft.
Right.
But I just figured just to give a little bit more information, even if it wasn't specifically this one, the USS Iwo Jima LPH-2 was the lead ship of her class and type, which is probably why the rest are now named after, it's that class of ship. But it was
Mhm.
the first amphibious assault ship to be designated and built to be a dedicated helicopter carrier. Because remember, I was like, is that an aircraft carrier? And you're like, it's too small.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it carried helicopters and embarked U.S. Marines detachments in use of the Navy's vertical envelopment concept of amphibious operations. Iwo Jima was the second of the 3 ships of the United States Navy to be named after the Battle of Iwo Jima, but it was let's see, it was actually involved in the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was in the ready. It was like kind of in there. It was off the coast, I think, of Lebanon when the Beirut barracks bombing happened.
Hmm.
It served in Vietnam and had a lot of it saw a lot of action. And I was trying to think so it didn't really mention anything about being involved with Grenada, and it doesn't mention anything about being involved with this movie either. But as you looked up, neither did USS Bella Wood,
Mhm.
which I'm surprised. Well, I would think that would make the Wikipedia because it was featured in this movie.
Right.
The USS Iwo Jima, it was commissioned in 1961 and decommissioned in 1993. It was then scrapped in 1995 and sold for scrap. Although apparently a portion of it was in Texas on display until funding ran out at some museum, and then they had a.
Oh, okay.
I found a couple articles, if I remember, to post them about the different types of LPHs. Thought I read. Yeah, it can. It has a crew of like 80 officers, 638 enlisted, and then a Marine detachment of like basically 18. So and then all the equipment that it carries. So. So the Iwo Jima was the first in 1961. It was commissioned, but then there was the Okinawa, which was an LPH-3, Guadalcanal LPH-7, the Guam, which was LPH-9, and all these were like 61, 62, 63, 65, 66, 90. So it's
right.
Yeah. So and it's got some diagrams and stuff. It's pretty neat. So if I remember, I'll post this. If not, Google it. Do your own research. Don't let me do it for you. We don't know what we're talking about. But that's all. I just going down the rabbit hole for research. I was just finding different information. So I thought that was neat that, well, I mean, like I said, according to IMDb, it was, they filmed on the Iwo Jima, but we saw the plaque for the Bella Wood. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's what looked like it was there.
Yeah. I don't know why they would have a Bella Wood placard on the USS Iwo Jima unless that was, I don't even know what it would be for. So,
well, historical accuracy, as much accuracy as
the
attention to detail that they applied to. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I don't know, man. But that was the plaque. It was right next to the elevator.
Oh yeah, it's very noticeable.
On. Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else. We could debate this all day. Which
I wonder if they use two different ships. They use one for filming inside and the other one for all the other shots.
It's possible. It's very possible.
So that would have been like, a reason, because they could have done them at two different times. They could have done it a lot of different ways, and they just.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
totally for sure. So yeah, it makes sense. We'll go with that. It's like today. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody, both ships were in the movie. All right, let's end this thing.
Yeah.
Got anything else?
No, man.
Okay. Me neither.
Somewhere under a tree somewhere in Puerto Rico, there's a pair of rubber flippers that are just useless now.
Yeah, let's go find them.
Yeah, be hot, muggy.
Right. It's all filled with like mold and.
Yeah, they got delicious food and rum drinks there.
Oh well, we can do that. All right, Perry. Well, yeah, let's just call it a day on this. We'll come back on Friday, finish out the week, see if they can get out of this firefight in one piece. And
I suspect they will.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Perry. I'll see you when this episode's over.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we're breaking down movies minute. Blah, 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 blah.
Let's try it again.